anything, you've been stretching all the posterior chain, focusing on your hamstrings, your calves, your glutes, and the anterior chain's got tighter and tighter and tighter. So there might be a slight imbalance between the two, which is what's loading it more. So yeah, stretching your quadriceps off as much as you can, both in a kneeling position with your knee bent up against the wall or a box or something to bring in rectus femoris a little bit more, but quadriceps standing every chance you get at work. When you sat down, stand up, stretch it off as much as you can, loads of heat. That combined with the fact, because of the hematoma on this leg from the impact of the tyre, we couldn't stretch this leg because of the range and the hematoma. We couldn't stretch it for a few weeks, and you've loaded it since. So I would say it's a combination of you lengthening your posterior chain, which is good, but neglecting the anterior chain, the front bits, not statically stretching after training, and then the history of the hematoma the weeks before, and then you've gone back into lifting heavy again, and your knees have had a break for a few weeks and you're just starting to feel it more, and that's caused a shortening of your quadricep muscles, and then that's what's pulling on the tibial tuberosity at the front and giving you the pain. Yeah. Warming up with the gun and stuff is fine, and dynamic ballistic mobility stuff before training, but stretching after training is massive.
Yeah.
It's critical. Tight? Hurt the front of your knee? Or just feel it through here? Through here?
Yeah, right, that's the front bit.
That way? And again? I feel okay?
Yeah.
Worse when I go down?
It's worse there at that point. You feel it like on the top of the kneecap.
Eases off when I come up?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, it kicks in up there.
You make them like that.
Women like pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make them like that now.
Looks like pockets, to be fair. Well, they used to. You have these daft little tiny bags around them. Feel that inside?
Yeah, and outside there as well.
Okay, and I'll bring that knee up to the door for me. Where's that hurting?
It's like...
Yeah. Nothing up here?
And that's just my tight hips, isn't it?
Yeah, this is an adductor magnus.
Back, sorry.
Bring your knee in. You fight
It's
me.
really hurting.
Knee up.
See, that's the bit pain on the inside.
So let me know when that pain kicks in. Cam impingement. The ball in the socket, your ball in the acetabulum has to drop down to allow space at the top so it doesn't pinch. So as this raises up here, this has to drop backwards on itself to allow the movement. If it doesn't, it ends up pinching. Muscle imbalance, overactivity, short muscles on one side, tightening capsule, inflamed capsule, so the ligaments around your hip can tighten. Can come for loads of different reasons. And hopefully give you a bit more mobility. We talked, didn't we, when you had difficulty squatting last time, about using the band against the frame, wrapping it around your hip. How often have you been doing it?
You was a lot, but you've stopped, yeah,
As
to
soon
be
as my
fair.
knees started hurting, you just...
okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Any pinching?
I can't have
Any pain?
So a lot less than what it was. So like if I'm here and I'm just tensing, I can feel like a pain coming along here, but not on that side.
As soon as you get your hip moving properly, the load goes off your knee. I think the weight is shifting and more movement's being required and load on the tendon because that hip isn't depressing down into the squat. So if we can get the hip mobilised properly, that should feel alright now.
So you said then there's 3 stretches. Is this
Yes,
the first
that's
one?
number 1.
Yeah.
Quad stretch and rectus femoris stretch, that's the second one that you need to do. And then the band stuff that we've gone through before, you need to bring back into your training.
Right.
And then loads of heat, as much stretching and heat as you can throughout the day. Frequently, often. Every time you make a cup of tea, fill the kettle full, boil, stand, stretch your quads off, stretch your hips off, and then going back to work as many times as you can throughout the day. Make it a habit every bit of the day rather than 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes. Just little bits as often as you can throughout the day, sprinkle it throughout every day.
So the deep heat stuff, would you recommend putting that on before training?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if
On
it's
my quads or on my knees.
both, but primarily the quads
Yeah.
down through here, and maybe a little bit into your patella tendon. And then, like I say, do ballistic warm-ups where your heel kicking, flicking up like this, and then get your quads nice and warm. You're doing a lot of things right, it's just about doing them at the right time. And then after training, lots of static stretching. And you can use a gun before or after.